Okay, so now we get ourselves from baseball to football. It's time for the Cutter NFL Cup to reward the winners, and there were all 32 teams had one what if team to per franchise that wanted to get it to get their happy ever after, and only 7 got their happy ever after. So that was kind of a mess in itself. So the teams were the 72 Steelers, the 03 Chiefs, the 2012 Packers, the 88 Saints, the 97 Panthers, the 84 Seahawks, the 04 Rams, those 7. Now, of course, in football, like I said, that the 97 Panthers and 84 Seahawks. Obviously, I meant the 83 team because, that 97 was when Carolina lost the NFC title game to the Packers, and the 83 Seahawks were in 84. They lost the AFC title game. So, of course, it's the year before. So I decided, and with 4 teams doing at least 2 rounds, including the fact that the 88 Saints and the 2012 Packers actually ended up having to play 3 rounds. Oh, well. The 88 Saints went through 3 rounds. Remember, they originally lost the wildcard game to the Vikings, but they won the wildcard game, and then they won the divisional round, the NFC title game, and the Super Bowl. So that made 3. So basically, what ends up happening is that they and the 2012 Packers, because, they're 15 and freaking 1, the 2012 Packers, they won 2 rounds. So they will be at top tier. The middle tier is the 2003 Chiefs and the 2004 Rams because of how good they were. The bottom 3 teams, the 72 Steelers, the 97 Panthers, and the 84 Seahawks. So practically, they'll be playing within each other. So here's how the format will go. The format goes as follows. So it's the 96 Panthers and the 83 Seahawks, of course. So the Panthers and Seahawks face each other, and the winner of this 2-game mini tournament will face the 72 Steelers. So practically what will happen is these 2 teams will face each other. And of course that means that 2 wins. But in not the football one, the hockey. Yeah, in football, the rules are 2 games, total points wins. However, if the 2 games are decided by combined less than 3 points, 3 or fewer points, they'll play a game 3 at a neutral site, and Seattle will have home field. Well, Carolina, based on record, Carolina will have home field. So, as you see, first blood went to the Panthers, who won 23-16 over the Seahawks. Great job by the Panthers. Not really giving up the lead as much. Anthony Johnson got a touchdown run. And then at 13-9, Colin Bryan got a touchdown for the Seahawks, making 16-13. But Team Biakabuka, the Pride of Montreal, made 2016 Casey with 4-6 field. Kurt Warner, the hero, even though he was not the best guy. So anyway, Warner, 130 yards on the ground, yet he didn't get into the end zone. Harry Collins was 10 for 18, 175 in a pick for the Panthers. Craig, 15 for 25, 215 in a pick. So logically, nothing much could happen. Casey and Johnson both hit field goals. So Carolina has a 7-point lead headed back home. If they win, they'll take on the 72 Steelers. So that's the way it's going to be. Let's see. Well, the Panthers crushed the Seahawks. So the Panthers win 41-25, so they'll move on to face the 72 Steelers. Steve Largent got a touchdown pass to make it 7-3. Touchdown catch. Willie Green gets a touchdown catch from Collins, 13-7. Steve Largent gets another touchdown, 14-13. It was 17-13. Hawks at the half, but Anthony Johnson scored a touchdown. Basically, Seattle had no answer. They only scored 8 points in the final half, in the second half. So Seattle just stuck it up. Anthony Johnson, your hero, 152 yards, 3 touchdown carries for the Panthers. Kurt Warner did okay, 95 yards. Dave Craig, 14 for 28, 241, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Boy, that sucks. Harry Collins, 14 for 27, 213, 2 touchdowns. The 4 interceptions, 2 by Chad Cota, 1 by Martin Baker, 1 by Sean King. Not that Sean King, who was the Buccaneers guy. So anyway, so the Panthers will face Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh decides to have their matchup. 21-72. No, it was the 72 team because 72-73. Because that was Christmas Day when they did that. So anyway, so the Steelers decide to be smart and decide to have the game in Carolina. They'll get the home game, of course. So anyway, game 1 sees the Steelers going to Carolina, win 22-16. It was a close one. They had a punt return for a touchdown. It was 16-7. Mark Carrier got a touchdown catch from Collins. It was 16-10. Panthers at the half. John Fuqua got a TD run, but they missed the extra point. But Pittsburgh still got the 2 field goals. Franco Harris is your hero. 176 on the ground. Great job by Franco. Terry Bradshaw only threw 12 passing attempts. 5 for 12, 16 yards. Yikes. Kerry Collins, 14 for 20, 167 with a touchdown. I mean, geez, 16 passing yards. Harrison Fuqua had more yards running. Kennedy Johnson, Winslow, Oliver, and Kerry Collins had more running yards than the Steelers had passing yards. John Casey made a 50-yarder, but missed a 49-yarder, but it was too late. So the Steelers are up by 6 points. They could be going to the Tier 2. And final score is 17-14, overtime. But the rule is overtime counts double. So the 97 Panthers won by 3 in overtime times 2 is 6. They are officially tied, so they have to play a one-game playoff. And I believe Pittsburgh, by winning percentage, would get the home game. So the final score was 17-14. Overtime, John Casey got the 54-yard field goal. Fuqua got the touchdown pass from Bradshaw. It was actually huge because, well, it actually didn't matter. It was 14-7 Carolina. They would have forced it game 3. Pittsburgh wanted to win. It was 14-14 in overtime. If they scored in overtime, game over. But anyway, 17-14 Casey. Kerry Collins, the hero, 19 for 32, 239, 2 touchdown passes and 2 picks. 1 to Mark Carrier, 1 to Winslow Oliver. Terry Bradshaw did much better passing at home. 11 completions this time. Not much on the running game. John Casey hit a 54-yard field goal. So it ties Pittsburgh by winning percentage. It'll be randomly selected, and it's Metropolitan Stadium in Minneapolis for the tiebreak. And the tiebreak goes to Carolina. Wow. So the Panthers, that field goal was huge because that got them the tiebreak. And they win 23-3 at Metropolitan. Rogerella made it 3-0, but the Panthers were huge. Muhammad got a touchdown catch. Casey with 3 field goals. Mark Carrier with a touchdown from Collins. 20-3. The hero was Kerry Collins. Again, 17 for 23, 215, 2 touchdown passes. Terry Bradshaw again sucked. 12 for 27, 85 yards and a pick. Franco Harris, 92 yards running, which was great, but in the end, it didn't matter. As the Panthers now move on. Great job by the Panthers. So the Panthers move on to Tier 2. They will face the 2003 Chiefs, who are the number 3 team based on their tier. So Kansas City, the 2003 Chiefs will get the Panthers. No, the 2003 Chiefs. I guess I had that right. Anyway, 12-4 versus 13-3. So yeah, so great matchup. So on to Tier 2. We get to the final. In Tier 2, the Panthers crushed the Chiefs 52-10, and this is in Kansas City. Yikes! 52-10 is your score. Look at all those touchdowns. Musha Muhammad got a touchdown catch. Kansas City got a field goal. Then 24 points in the second quarter. Anthony Johnson, touchdown run. Winston Oliver, touchdown run. Timothy Akabuka, a touchdown run. Man, the running game was huge. Willie Green and Mark Carrier got touchdown catches. Anthony Johnson, another run. 52-10. Carolina crushed them in running and rushing first yard, 16-5. Passing was better for Kansas City, but look at third down efficiency, 6 for 9. Yikes. 41 rushes, 256 on the ground. Wow. Johnson, 146. Bianca got 70 yards. Oh, man. Kerry Collins did pretty well, too, passing 3 touchdowns against the Chiefs. 13 for 17, 266, 3 touchdowns. Trent Green, 184. Wow. Willie Green got a 100-yard receiving game. How the fuck did the Panthers do that? So basically, they would play game 2 because they have to play game 2. I mean, it'd be rude. And the Panthers crushed Kansas City. So they're in the semifinals. Yeah, so they're in the semifinals. The 2004 Rams. So the 2004 Rams won the coin flip. So the 2004 Rams will play. So they will face the 2004 Rams. So Carolina's got to keep moving on up. 41-10. Do we really? It was the running game again, right? 161 for Johnson, 2 touchdowns. Winston Oliver, 2 touchdown runs. So Carolina's using the ground pound to take down Kansas City. That is just unreal. So Carolina now has to take on the St. Louis Rams. I think I kind of did that wrong because it should have been like the Rams were the next team in line. So they would play us here. Yeah, the semifinals. So the 97 Panthers will face the 88 Saints no matter what. No, sorry. What am I doing? Yeah, so 97 Carolina. Oh, sorry. I screwed up. No, I screwed it up. It's supposed to be Panthers versus the Saints because the Panthers got that 4th semifinals. Oh, shoot. That means I completely gaffed it. I should have been with the Rams. Oh, well. I fucked it up. So Carolina will play New Orleans in the semifinals. First game goes to the Saints, 23-14. So the Panthers couldn't crush another team. They were actually up 7-6 after the half, but the Saints used good old Sasky boy, Ruben Mays with 2 touchdowns, 1 running, 1 catching. Anthony Johnson made it 20-14 for an answer to the field goal. So Bobby Hebert, okay, and Kerry Collins was okay. Running game, both players won 100 yards. Anthony Johnson and Ruben Mays. Good old Sasky boy. So Carolina now has to win by a lot at home. They have a 9-point cushion. And the Saints fight them in the battle of field goals. Panthers win by 3, but they only win by 6 overall. So that means the Saints move on. Yes, the Saints knew what they were doing. They knew that they had to keep Carolina in check. And Carolina only got 9 points at home. How the fuck did that happen? It's the battle of the field goals. Hebert and Collins, the running game sucked. I think both teams were just playing defense. Saints knew they had to just play tight defense and try not to lose. And they didn't. Both kickers didn't miss their field goals. It was kind of a boring game, but Carolina is out. So the 87 Saints are in the finals for sure. Who they'll face, we don't know. It could be the St. Louis Rams of 2003. I mean, technically, I did screw it up. It was supposed to be the Rams to take on the Panthers next, and then all that. But, you know, I actually wanted them to lose to the Chiefs in hindsight. I thought that the Chiefs would take about. Well, Mr. Diamond, you are so fucking wrong. 2011. So it's 12-4 versus 15-1. Rams and Packers, the winner, will face the Saints in the finals of this mini tournament. First game goes to the Saints. The Rams, who crushed the Packers 42-17. I guess it was good that the Rams somehow didn't have to face the Panthers. But they win 42-17 at Lambeau Field. That's hard enough. 6 touchdowns. Only 1 field goal combined by the 2 teams. Jordy Nelson made it 7-0 with a touchdown catch from Rodgers. Torrey Holt got a touchdown catch from Bulger. And then Bulger threw 3 in the second quarter. Dane Looker, Mike Burry, and Isaac Reeves. So 4 touchdown passes to 4 different receivers. Arlen Harris got a running touchdown for the Saints. I mean, for the Rams. Oh, sorry. Marshall Faulk got a touchdown run. So basically, Bulger threw for only 4 touchdowns. But he didn't get picked off. 296 passing. He almost got 300 yards. Rodgers only 144 at home. Wow. Marshall Faulk 89 yards. Lamar Gordon had 67. He had more than the Packers. Big guy who had 57. Yikes. So with a huge lead, the Rams can afford to play a little bit loose. They win the game anyway, 22-3. So the Rams, I think, were trying to prove that they look good. So now they'll take on the Saints. So it's Rams-Saints for the championship. 22-3. One touchdown, that was Marshall Faulk. So basically, it was just kicked field goals. Green Bay could have helped their own cause, but they couldn't. Isaac Bruce was named player of the game. 130 yards receiving, that's not bad. 226 on the ground, on passing for Bulger, 12 for 19 with a pick. Aaron Rodgers, 7 for 12, only 100 yards. But great job by Lamar Gordon. 92 yards on 9 carries. He did more than Marshall Faulk did. That's amazing. Jeff Wilkins did miss a 50-yard field goal, but he did hit 5 that were 45 or less. So the Rams take on the Saints. And I believe that, yeah, we do it by seeding. Yeah, we got to do it by seeding. Yeah, we do it by seeding. So that means, obviously, that the Saints, because they had to go through 3 rounds of playoffs to get their happy ever after for that franchise. We'll let them go ahead. Well, 12-4 versus 12-3. I forgot the Saints were that good because of the Niners. Good boy. Game 1 sees the Saints crush the Rams 48-6. Wow. I don't think we really need to worry about a second game, but they'll have to play a second game. Man, the Rams thought for sure that they had things going for them. 48-6. Well, Dalton Hillard made it 7-0. Wilkins made a field goal, but then Morgan Anderson kicked the field goal. Wilkins made it 10-6. But Ruben Mays, 2 touchdown runs in the third quarter. And then Burton got a touchdown. Dalton Hillard caught a touchdown. Dwight Beverly. Dalton Hillard and Ruben Mays combined 297 on the ground. That's amazing. Bobby Haber, 172, passing 2 touchdowns. Mark Bulger, 5 interceptions. Wow. See the Saints with their defense. Reggie Sutton with 2 picks. Gene Atkins, Ricky Jackson, and Milton Mack. Field goals. Morgan Anderson missed a 45-yard field goal. Too little, too late. So I guess the moral of the story is don't fuck with the Saints and their voodoo. Rams won the game 31-27, but unfortunately, that was too little, too late. The Saints knew that they had like a big cushion. The Rams did win, but the Saints do win 31-27. Do win overall. So, and they had 27-17 lead in the third quarter. It was 27-10, and they choked it. But that's okay. They knew that they could lose by 20 points and still win. So Ruben Mays, 168 on the ground. Wow. The Sasky boy just wrecked everyone. Marshall Faulk, 138. Passing. Yay. 3 touchdown runs by Marshall Faulk. That's great. Mark Bulger, 19 for 32, 250, and a touchdown. Hey Bear, 16 for 25, 196, 2 touchdowns. So basically, at least Bulger didn't throw an interception this time. But in the bloody end, it was the Saints marching on. So the New Orleans Saints win the happy ever after tournament. Good for them. Good for them.